What's up, everybody? So today I want to talk about Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes and the secret behind their marketing and virality that you can apply to your business to get more sales and get more attention and people striving to work with you in your business for the rest of 2023 going into 2024. So let's get started. The reason that Deion Sanders and his team are so successful right now is they're able to turn attention into money. They were able to take attention and get the right players they needed. They were able to get attention to get TV and people buying tickets to come to their games. They're getting attention, okay? And then they're using that attention to accomplish the sales goals or the winning that they want to accomplish, okay? So I want to talk about how are they able to do that and how can you also do that? So there's three ways, okay? There's three things that Deion and the Colorado Buffaloes are doing that you can put into your business. Number one, they're experts. So Deion Sanders is a Hall of Famer, NFL player. So he played cornerback and I think might have played offense too, played receiver. So he's an expert when it comes to football. He's an expert football coach. He coached from little league all the way up to college. So he knows what he's doing and he's already shown a track record of success. If you followed his story, you saw that he first went to a HBCU at Jackson State, had a lot of success there, and now is taking that success and is bringing it to the Colorado Buffaloes, who are historically one of the worst college football teams over the last couple of years. So number one, he had to be an expert. So if you are an expert in your business, you can do what Deion is doing. If you've been in whatever industry you're in, whether you're a real estate agent, you have a coaching program and you sell high ticket offers, or you have an e-commerce business, whatever it is that you do, if you're an expert and you've been doing it for years and you know what you're doing and you have results, you can do this. The next thing that Deion is doing is he's taking his results and he's packaging it into a story that people can relate to. Okay, so when it comes to why we want to see Deion be successful, it's because Deion's a family guy, right? Through Deion's content that he's been putting out and the way he communicates, it's captured our attention, like we talked about earlier. But then once we're watching him, he's telling us stories, right? He's making metaphors. He's really bringing us into the story, right? We're getting behind the scenes content. Deion is showing us the people that he knows, the other celebrities, sports people, and he's bringing us into his world. So we're seeing his family. We all have some kind of connection to family, whether it's your real family or a family-like community that you have around you. We all connect to and relate to family. There's resilience. Deion has had to work really hard to get where he's at. He started off coaching Pee Wee football and has made all his way through high school, HBCU, and now at Power 5 D1 level. So he's worked really hard and there's been challenges all the way up to that point. So there's resilience that we connect with. Being the underdog. Nobody expected Colorado to win this season. Nobody expected them to beat TCU, who was the national runner-up. No one expected them to be able to do this, and so everyone counted them out. So now the fact that they are the underdog, we all love a good underdog story because we relate to that. We relate to being the little guy. We relate to having to beat the system, beat the government, beat the things that hold us down, right? So we relate to that. Being able to package your story in a way that people connect to. And the only way you can package your story in a way that people connect to is you have to actually understand who your people are. You have to actually understand what it is they want, because Deion is simply giving us what we want. He's giving us the thing. When we're watching him, he's giving us exactly what we want to see. So do you really understand what your people want to see from you? What are they really looking for? And one of the key pieces that the undertones of what's in Deion's messaging, in his marketing, that's making it so impactful and impacting the sales of the university, sales of their games, and his salary, is that he's selling hope. And you're saying hope, what does that have to do with anything? Why is Deion giving people hope? The hope is because there is a distressed community. Colorado was a massively underperforming college football program. There's a group of fans that want to support their team, but their team sucked. So the fact that Deion's coming in and giving them a chance, and he's bringing all this hype and this energy and this incredibly compelling story is giving them hope, okay? So Do you understand the hope that your community needs? If you are a real estate agent, do you understand the market and how it's impacting people's belief in whether they can buy a home or not? And how are you creating a story narrative that gives them hope? You can spit facts at them. You can tell them, oh, historically interest rates have been really high, and now they used to be 12% and now they're 7%. That doesn't give anybody hope. But you could say, oh, the interest rates are 7% now, but they're gonna be 9% next year. So you should buy now. That doesn't give people hope. So giving people the facts isn't always necessarily the thing that's gonna help them take action. You have to be able to give them a story that motivates them, that gives them energy. And what gives them energy is when you understand what their pain points are. When you understand, hey, where are they coming from? Why do they wanna pay attention to me? Why do they wanna buy a house? Why do they wanna buy my product? Why do they wanna buy my coaching program? What is it gonna do for them? Okay, so when you understand that, you have to package it in a story. It has to be entertaining. They have to be able to visualize it. So another thing that Deion and the Colorado Buffaloes have been able to do is they're helping us visualize success. They're helping us see, hey, that could be us, right? We could go from being the worst college football team to one of the best college football teams in 1 year. And everyone's gonna believe in us and everyone's gonna pay attention to us because they captured the story. We see all kinds of behind the scenes content. his son leads his social media team. They've created amazing content. Deion's on all the YouTube channels, all the podcast channels. He's using his influence and his attention, his expertise to get him in places where people can see him. So for you, really work hard to put yourself in the limelight. Really work hard to be at the events. Work hard to be on the panels. Work hard to show people your authority and what you know, because it gives you a platform to tell your story and your messaging. So if you're just waiting for opportunities to come to you, you're gonna be left on the sideline. Deion didn't just wait for 5-star recruits to come to him. He went out and got them. He put himself in a position to where they're like, hey, I wanna go talk to that guy. I wanna be on that guy's team. So present yourself in a way that other people want to be a part of what you're doing and be relatable. Now, in terms of what that looks like, you really have to understand who your audience is. You have to understand ultimately who you want to attract. If you don't really understand that, then you're not necessarily going to be successful at this. You can do everything I'm saying and you're not going to be successful. So if you're a real estate agent and maybe you want to attract a luxury client, do you really understand the luxury lifestyle? The luxury lifestyle isn't always just flashy cars and cool vacations and nice clothes. Sometimes the luxury lifestyle is the little things. Sometimes the luxury lifestyle is being able to have time freedom. Sometimes the luxury lifestyle means things that that aren't on TV. Do you really understand your consumer, what they're looking for, what their lifestyle is like, and how can you show that you can relate to that in how you create content and the type of things you talk about in your content and the kind of stories you tell? It's so impactful to tell testimonials, not just after the deal is closed, but during the process. Show us the process. And that's not just, oh, let me show you that I'm going on showings. It's what's happening at the showings. How are you advocating for the client? How are you educating the client? What are the different things that you're doing? Show people you're behind the scenes. Welcome them into the story, because that's what gives them hope. If they see another couple going through the process and buying a house right now or selling a house right now, and that couple is relatable to them in a similar situation as them, and they know that because you've told them the story, you've hinted at what the story is, that gives people hope. That gives them motivation, right? Especially if we're leaning into the pain point where they're trying to avoid. Hey, what is the reason why they want to buy a house or they want to sell a house, or the reason why they want to buy a product or hire your team or whatever that is? So hopefully you really understand. I really want to drive that point home. Now the third piece, so first piece was be an expert. Second piece is tell a story. Bring people into the story. Like unroll back the curtains. Let people see the reality. Find the values that you have. Find the values that your audience has. And then tell a story and find those commonalities and put that into your content, into your marketing, into your messaging. Number 3, have a very clear offer that you can communicate to people. Deion's offer is so clear. Like, if you like Deion's coaching style, join his team. If you want to look cool like Deion, buy his sunglasses, buy the Colorado merch. If you want to be entertained by Deion and the Colorado Buffaloes, watch their games, buy tickets to go to their games, follow them on social media. If you want to support Deion financially, buy tickets to the game. Donate to Colorado. They're doing massive fundraising campaigns in Colorado right now to raise money with all this attention that's happening. So you got to have a clear offer. Now, here's the thing. Your offer has to be attached to the values that your audience has, okay? So Your offer is in the same vein of the story that you want to tell them. Your offer has to be very clear in the sense of, hey, what is it that people are looking for? So we talked earlier about the hope that Deion was selling. So for a player who wants to be a part of a great college football team, seeing Deion and seeing the values that he holds now gives weight to his offer, okay? So saying join my team is one thing, but join my team because I care about family. Join my team because I care about hard work. Join my team because I care about people who might have been overlooked. Join my team because I care about quality. Join my team because I care about these are all the value systems that you see in his story, okay, that you see in his content that correlate to why he should join the team. It's not just join the team because we're winning, join the team because we're cool. It aligns with the values. Is the thing you're saying, is the messaging you're putting out there actually the values that your audience has? You can't make assumptions here. You can't assume what people's values are. You have to actually know for a fact, yo, this is what my people care about, okay? Because if you miss on that, then you're gonna be frustrated at why people aren't buying from you. You're gonna be frustrated at why people aren't signing the contract to have you represent them. You're gonna be like, why is no one hiring me? Why are my sales down? Or why am I not getting the things I know I should be getting, or the sales I know I should be getting? Maybe it's because the values that you hold, the way you present yourself, the way that the messaging that you put in your content doesn't actually relate to your audience. Maybe they don't actually see it. Maybe it's not a very clear offer to them. So really doing some work there, understanding, hey, what is my offer? What is my value proposition? What really makes me different? And looking at your competition and understanding, like, hey, is my competition saying the same thing that I am? Do they actually have something better to offer than I do? That is something you really gotta take a look at and really understand. Another thing is having multiple offers, I think, is so valuable. They have to all be in the same, you have to stay in the same kind of business model, but you can have different offers at different price points, right? Not everyone can join the Colorado football team, but everyone can buy a pair of sunglasses. Not everyone can necessarily fly to Boulder, Colorado to go to a game, but everyone can turn on the TV and watch a game or follow on social media. So there's multiple different ways to interact with Deion Sanders and his brand in Colorado. How many different ways can someone interact with your brand? What are the different ways? And aside from following you or working with you, is there other ways they can connect with you? And how consistently can they do that? That is so impactful, the consistency of how easy is it somebody to come back to you all the time, to stay in front of you, top of mind. How easy is it to do that? If you show up maybe once a year or every other quarter, it's so easy for them to move on to the next thing, forget about you and lose that hype. It's so easy to lose the hype. Like it's gonna be so easy for Colorado to lose the energy that they're going. To keep this going, they have to keep winning. They have to keep showing up. They have to keep creating compelling story. The story has to keep evolving and pivoting over time, right? So it's something that's constantly evolving. It can't just be one story that you put out. It can't just be one offer that you put out. It has to continue to evolve with what's happening around you, what's happening in your business, what's happening in your clients' lives. Okay, so being flexible, being willing to move and pivot with your marketing. Okay, that's another piece. The third piece I really want to land here, that Deion is himself. Deion is a very passionate, very charismatic personality. Not everyone has that. That's a massive asset that he has that makes it easy to follow him, easy to watch him, easy to support his team and his family. Not everyone necessarily has that, but I think I want you to understand that you are you. So be your true self, and there is a group of people that are for you. Deion has been able to capture a large audience of people because of that charismatic. He's also because of his success in the realm that he's in. Everyone loves football. A lot of people love the NFL and maybe built relationships with Deion because he was in the NFL. Now he's a coach, and now maybe they care about college football. So you got to understand, like, where in the realm are your people? Because not everyone's for you. Okay, but when you can be yourself, people want to root for you, and you can over time add more audiences. So at some point, Deion's audience was the NFL, and now it's college football, and now it's the whole sports world. So understanding, like, you gotta get your niche, find out who your people are. And that's something that can evolve over time if you don't know what it is, but you gotta have a target. If you're just throwing darts all over the place, just randomly, there's no consistency with that. You're just gonna go where the wind takes you. But if you at least have a goal, hey, I wanna try to shoot for here, this is where I'm gonna make my stand, then you have the opportunity to pivot when needed, okay? I think that's the thing I want you to take away from this is don't sacrifice who you are to try to attract a certain person or group. Be who you need to be, who's gonna be real and authentic, because people will be attracted to authenticity and passionate, authoritative people who know what they're talking about, who are experts and wanna help people. So that's, if your content isn't helping people, if you feel like your content's falling flat, think about, hey, how am I serving people through my content? Am I genuinely getting people what they need? Okay, and the only way you know that is by having conversations with people, getting feedback from them, having a plan, having a strategy for how you're gonna execute, and then being able to pivot when needed. That's, I think, is the success behind Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes, is being able to get attention, number one, being able to tell a story, and then having an offer, and then coming through with the offer. Like, they are winning football games in dramatic fashion. It's exciting. It brings people on board. The testimonial is there. The results are there. So ultimately, having the results is the other piece that you have to work really hard at. And if you don't have those results, you gotta work really hard on your story. Like, your story has to be compelling enough for someone to take a chance on you if you don't necessarily have a big book of business or a whole ton of results. I believe what's happening with Deion, what's happening with Colorado can happen with anybody. Take the things we talked about today, look back at your business and say, hey, where am I lacking in my storytelling? Where am I lacking in what my offer is? And how easy is it? And how many different ways can someone tap into my offer? Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. See you next time.